It's been a long day. Day and night, all the time.
For some reason.
I'm burning at both ends of the stick. Which makes it even worse.
Is it a good advantage to work from home?
Huh?
Is it a good advantage? Doesn't count. Is it good advantage to work from home?
Yeah, well, I like it because yes, right. The only thing you don't get is as much of the social interaction with your colleagues and stuff. But yeah, I've been doing it for. Well, those are Zoom meetings, yeah, or Teams meetings.
Do you have to go to the office sometimes?
To visit clients. Yeah. Yeah. So, but other than that, no. Oh my God, are you getting people calling you about? Are you getting people still? My house is off the market. Are you still getting people calling you asking if you still want to sell your house?
I'm sorry.
Are you getting people still calling you asking to sell your house?
Yes.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. I get emails. I get a lot of emails. I get texting them back. I'm not saying, I'm not.
Yeah. No, go away. Selling my house, so ask me. I'm getting a phone call. No. No.
To sign in.
They'll try to get you put back on market.
What I would say, I said, give me $300.
Sign in?
Check everything.
Where you get that?
It's not good, we do it. It's what they do. Because I cannot do everything, so I need to make sure, somebody's there. Then I go and check it out, it's more easy. And the other place is not good supervisors, they do exactly what
So
I
we can.
That's important. Because they know I go to the job and I make them take off, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a big problem.
And if I have to take off, they don't pay for me.
Hopefully, it's not gonna be all night about nonsense.
That's what it was. I'm not ashamed. It's my company. I'm not ashamed to be poor. It doesn't matter the owner is there or not here. It's important I catch. I like to take the job.
Well, I'm other people we use. Because I still see but I don't know. I don't know why I'm so that's annoying.
Any under no isolation. Whatever you had in that when we opened.
I don't know.
So now you have windows are
No?
over your living area. The way how you start from, for instance, about 315, now you start. Now it's going to be good for the people.
I gotta get my bedroom. I haven't been able to read my bedroom because
You have a wife, you should get off there. Where you can find my last call. Fully electric.
When I bought it, the lady said, that's only 2 weeks. And she had,
27th. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum of the board. And Blair, we have the approval of many minutes. Thank you for that.
Yes, because of all of the construction discussions and proxy mail-outs, and that being the priority, we have a lot of minutes to approve, so if anyone,
Why don't we go by dates? Okay? Is it easier?
we
Okay, did you have a chance to review them?
Honestly, no.
Do you want to table them then? Do you get a chance to see it, read it?
I don't
You
wanna
take over
hold,
for
I
this.
don't wanna hold nothing up. You know, if you and Blair saw 'em, you know,
well, of course, I typed them up,
Yeah.
so.
You can abstain, it'll still be a majority.
Yeah. All right, so are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
I'm just
So let's say we have August 7th. I've read it. I have no comments. It's accurate. August 26th, also read it. That was the meeting where we approved the loan. That's okay. September 19th. This is where Carol Eskew was here to discuss the loan. That is fine. November 7th, this is where we had our project team. So that was a long meeting, nicely done, good. December 5th, this was a simple proxy meeting, which is correct. January 2nd was another proxy meeting, all is correct. And then we had back-to-back meetings on January 2nd. So both are correct. I read the January 15th. This is where we had Farouk, our engineer here with the rest of the project team. That is correct. January 30th. This was a regular board meeting regarding update and overview from the association law firm. That is correct. And then finally, the last one we had was February 20th. And this was simply a proxy meeting, which was the conclusion of our 4 attempts, right? So I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes as written.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before, the next item on the agenda is our project, members of our project team. But we have some unit owners that were not here for the last proxy meeting. You want to give them an update by phase?
So we finished our count and have all the proxies recorded with the tally sheets. And we ended up coming up short in one of the phases. Phase 1 had 26 total votes and enough to pass their vote for the 75%. They went with, I believe, gray, and to remove trim and to remove the trellis, and they reached their 75% goal. Phase 2 came up short. They had 21 total votes. Of those, only 19 of them were to remove the trim and the trellis, and their predominant color choice was Java. So they failed to get their 75%, and unfortunately will stay the same to what the association is currently.
Okay, so let's stop here and explain for the unit owners in phase 2. So on February 20th, that was the 4th attempt. So phase 2 did not have a total of 75% of the votes, which is needed to vote in a material alteration. So when you get the 75% vote, then 75% of that vote must approve, for example, the removal or keeping the trim and the trellises. And because there were not enough votes for a color change, so right now as it stands, phase 2 will be painted the same color They're gonna put back new trellises and new wood banding, which the bad news about that is phase 2 is gonna be assessed the additional dollars that was in the, letter from the attorney, yes.
Can this be changed since we are just putting the roof? Can be changed later
Yeah,
on?
we're gonna update you at the end with what we discussed for phase 2. Let's do phase 3 and 4, phase 3.
So phase 3 had the necessary votes out of the 33 units. They ended up having 25 total proxies returned, and they had the proper number of votes to remove the trim and remove the trellis, and the overwhelming color choice for phase 3 was the Java.
No, that's a correction. There wasn't
Yeah.
enough, there wasn't 75% total between Java and gray to make the color change. That's why phase 3 is gonna be kept the same color. You have to have 75% approving the material alteration, which in this
Of the
case.
color choice, I thought Matt said.
No.
Majority.
You'll see the majority that voted, but they didn't receive the 75% together between the Java and the gray. Those two numbers
Gotcha.
didn't
Those
reach
were-
75%.
So that's a key.
Totally understand, because
Yeah.
I see that there were 3 keeps.
That's the problem with
Yep.
phase 3.
Okay, you
Because
know
I
what?
questioned the attorney again, and
Yeah.
he said, no, you have to count the material alteration. In this case,
You're right, there were
recommending a
4
color
votes
change.
to keep, and then
Exactly.
throw it off.
So in that case, it's
Okay.
not the majority
Yep.
of the color, it's that they don't have 75% to
You are
make
correct.
which color change. All right,
Phase 4 does not have that problem at all. They had 27 votes that were turned in, more than enough, well into the 80s. Looks like the Java is the color choice to remove the trim and to remove the trellis. And again, that was 27 out of 32 units, so they had more than enough. So that's where the final vote comes in, was phase 4, Java is the color, removing the trim, removing the trellis. Phase 3, removing the trim, removing the trellis, keeping with the same color choice. Phase 2, 21 votes. Not enough to make a change to either remove the trim, remove the trellis, or come up with a color choice, so they'll stay the same. And finally, phase 1 did have enough, I think it was 77%, to have Java as their color. I'm
phase
sorry,
1 is
phase
gray.
1 is gray as their color, remove the trim, remove the trellis.
Okay. So do you want to discuss what we had discussed with the attorney about phase 2?
Yeah. Take it, Aaron?
Well, what I did was, I know that several residents in phase 2 came up to me and asked the question about, can we change it? Is it enough time to change it or whatever? So I was able to contact Levi, and he gave me it'll be an estimated of 30 days before the permit is pulled in order for phase 2 and phase 1. And so because of the estimate of the 30 days, we were able to talk to the lawyer and come up with an extra 30 days in order for phase 2 to get their stuff taken care of. You only have one shot. And so a letter was done. Matt did a new letter, and I want to make a motion tonight to extend phases 2 proxy. They would have to get a new proxy. They have to do a whole new proxy. It's only good for 30 days. And so they have to get all new signatures. Everybody has to vote again. And we'll see by, I think, March 26th. I believe that was the date on that, March 26th. And that'll be their last and final shot. Because by then, we'll be able to get Levi's hoping that the permits will be able to be pulled, starting on roofs and everything for phase 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
That letter will be mailed out of our office, and we'll just send it directly to just the phase 2 owners, so that we don't have to have the attorney as involved in, you know, any additional costs or anything. So we just felt that with the 30 days, it was worth giving phase 2 a final shot at trying to, you know, remedy the situation.
So after this fifth and final attempt for phase 2, if phase 2 does not get the 75% vote to make the changes, phase 2 then will have the trellises, the trim, and the color, the existing color. Did you check with the Medallion paint, where the original colors in Hollywood? They have the original colors,
They're
correct?
looking them up. They said that they have them in the archive, and when I went down there, they said that they would
They know
notify me
who
and
made
let me
up
know.
those, yes, because I remember they used to buy.
And it was
paint.
in their database.
Perfect. So that would mean we would have the historical paint color of phase 2, and we have the historical paint color of phase 3. So we don't have to match it. We just need to go to Hollywood Medallion Paint, and they have the historical data of this association. So
Eric has a motion. We have a second to that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
All right, so phase 2
So we'll
owners,
mail
you
that
will
out
be
tomorrow.
receiving a new proxy. It's not like the first 4 attempts where if you already submitted, because your proxies were only good for 90 days. Those 90 days would have expired. So at this point, you have one more shot to get that 75%. And if we don't get the 75%, unfortunately, per statute, we don't qualify for material alteration. And therefore, we're going to have to assess the unit owners in phase 2 as outlined in the letter for the additional cost for the trim trellises, decorated board I call it, okay? So thank you for the update. Now, we have our project team, Deb, King Big Street. So I have Levi, Doran from Oster Construction. We also have Daniel from our engineering, from Root's team, representing the owners for the owner's best interest as our project manager. So what I'd like to do is, who would like to give an update of where we are today? What has transpired over these last 3 weeks? Who wants to give that update? Okay. Go ahead,
Why don't you
Levi.
guys come up here? Just turn your chair for a minute.
So we are about, what, 3-4 weeks in?
4 weeks in.
So we're 4 weeks in, we finished 4 buildings, so by the end of the week, they're gonna be completed. We just got the shingles today. So
Just to be clear, the roofs will be.
Yeah,
covered.
the roofs. So we're working only on the roofs. So the flat roofs are all done, so we have tomorrow inspections on the building department. And we're working on the other 5 buildings, which by the end of the week, we hope they're gonna be, you know, like 80% completed, safe for the weekend and for the rain. And next week, complete the other buildings. And then, I guess the problem was gonna be, we're gonna have to wait for this permits to be able to, you know, so I already give the drawings, what we find to the building department, to my architect, he says, no problem. So the building official said, no problem if we can make it, you know, readable, to see everything for them, because they get the building location and the fence location. That's mostly where the city, property line.
That's for the structural part of it, the fencing, you needed.
Yes, for
If
all
some
the
of you
structure.
recall, we talked about a survey that we would have to invest in, that was gonna be about.
But just keep in mind, those buildings, the remaining buildings, what we have, they're not even close, built the same like phase 4. So why I need both permits, you know, to do roofing and structure, because I have upper floors, all that structure I have to redo. So whatever who did the roofs, when they did it, what they did, they left the T111 behind.
The structures.
They did their roofing on top of that, and they cover up with cover up with hardy board. So me, everything what was done here, I don't think was full of permit. I don't believe was full of permit because it's not possible the way how was installed everything to be done legally. Because
There's a
it's not
history of
possible.
that. That's correct.
It's not possible.
Yeah, I
So whatever
remember
happened, happened.
when
But that's not nobody's fault, so.
Oh, it is. It is somebody's
Excuse
fault.
me, you
when
don't
I
know.
bought in 2004.
It doesn't matter. This board's almost done.
PSI Roofing had finished the roofs in 2002. So prior to me buying, I remember the realtor saying it was a new roof. So that had to have been prior to 2004. So I don't know what PSI Roofing did. I wasn't an owner. The only person here that was an owner were you.
Yeah.
So we don't know historically what PSI did.
And I don't think it was all PSI because I complained to the board that there was some rot on the ground level of my unit, and all they did was slap up another piece of T111 over it. And I kept telling the
That's
board
what they do.
that wasn't the way to do it. They needed to take the old board off and, no, they didn't do that.
And I
Okay.
think they mentioned some unit owners that at that time, it must have been 2000, 2001, 2002, that not all the roofs were done. So that was kind of weird too, unless we get a hold of the PSI.
I don't
roofing
know
contract.
because everywhere I see a single plan, each roof you guys have.
Yeah,
So everywhere I single plan, the problem what was, installed was wrong because they installed over asphalt roofing material, so they didn't remove the old roofing, they installed that. Some areas, some places, they have a separation in between, which is a clog, it's not, well, this is thicker than that. So the problem was, I know here is problems for long time. So what happened to this, because I had, the manufacturer for my, meaning the material what we use here. So he come here and we look, and he says, it's not possible the TPO to deteriorate the way how it's done right now, because all the strings come up. So what now happened, because they installed an oil, base material, and no separation, because you need a minimum, 1 inch thick separation in between. So the problem is, that got so much solved into the PVC, because it's plastic basically, it's a problem, and that melted, and this one the string come out, so created like, a strain to just, leak. So that was the problem. In area where the first roof was bad, was leaking bad. So the other area where, was not really so much problem, was no problem.
yeah, well, we don't have any history on that roof project.
Well, there's a history on the City of Plantation
Can
citation
you,
portal.
excuse me?
Excuse me, I'm not gonna let you fabricate lies for this community.
You have not been
You're done with that.
involved.
It's over.
You
It's
have
done.
not
This
been-
community knows better. They've seen these
Okay,
emails.
Can we do a recess? Do I need to call somebody if we're gonna?
Do I need to have
continue?
an attorney
Are you
send you a
gonna
personal
continue
attorney,
to disrupt
for
this
interfere with my
board?
rights?
Are you going
No,
to
because you're lying.
continue?
You're lying, Patty. You're
Sir.
lying.
Sir, why you don't just want to listen and...
Because I'm tired of it. I think there's already 3 law firms involved with that.
Nobody did wrong here. Nobody here did wrong, okay?
Well,
You're
okay.
the only guy who
Okay.
did wrong. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I would say my lawsuit says
Okay.
different.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not gonna do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take a short recess. Can you please call Plantation PD? I'm not doing this.
You know what? Do it. Because I'm gonna stand out here and then I'm gonna get my attorney to contact
I'm
yours.
not going
You better
to
get your
allow
attorney,
someone
'cause you
to
know what,
continue
Patty,
to disrupt
Patty,
our meeting.
Enough. There's an election monitor coming next
Uh,
month to make sure our
can you
elections are not rigged
please-
anymore.
Jay,
And this board is changing next month, period. We
We're
have,
going to allow
We're going.
this board to
I have
conduct
to be here.
business. Thank you.
Yes, it is on
Thank
camera.
you.
And I'm glad it is because you're gonna be in
Thank
court
you.
one day.